I'm 22 years old, unaliving from failing lungs. I failed at life and will now be leaving behind a 3-year-old daughter. As the title suggests, last week, I received the news from my doctor that I'm getting unalived from lung cancer. It turns out that getting into smoke since I was 15 and then increasing it to 3 packs each day a few years ago was a bad idea. Stupid, I know, you don't have to tell me twice. I didn't think it would come so soon though. It's stage 4, and as of now, I have only months to live. Please don't feel bad for me. I've done nothing good in life, except having my daughter, to really be sad about losing me. I have no family because I grew up in the foster system and aged out at 18. My daughter's father is in prison for serious crimes, and even if he got out, he wouldn't be allowed to be in her life. My daughter is only 3. We don't live in a good area, and when I go to work, I have to leave her with an elderly neighbor who always gets her name wrong every day. I don't want her to grow up like I did, in that foster care system. I feel like it's the reason why I messed up and did nothing good with my life. Yeah, I know it's not the only reason, and my own stupidity caused most of my issues, but if I just had some family or a support system to keep me in check, it could have been better. I just want to give her some chance to have a better shot than I did. The thing is, I do have an idea for who could take care of her. One of my closest friends is a co-worker at my job, and she's amazing. While I'm at the bottom of the job, like if they need to lay off people, I would definitely be the first to go, but she's their prized worker and makes serious money. She has a good husband and a kid. I want to ask her if she would be okay with adopting my little girl once I'm gone, but I know it won't go well. The thing is, my coworker and her family are dark-skinned, and my daughter and I are light-skinned. We both have blue eyes and can't tan. There is no way I can ask my friend to adopt my daughter and force her to deal with the kind of issues that an adoption like that will bring to her family. But then that just leaves my little girl to grow up like I did, in an awful system with only a will of about $1,000 to help her and a necklace my mother had that I'm going to give her. I don't know if I should just ask my close friend if she is willing to take my daughter, or just suck it up and try to work as hard as I can to get as much money into my will for my girl, but either way, I failed as a mother, and that is a regret I am literally taking to my grave. Edit. Okay, I reached out to her and we were able to set up a place to meet. It's some simple, cheap bakery where you can eat inside. I'm going to ask her if she can adopt my daughter. That way, if she says no, I can have more time to go to an adoption agency near us. Thank you for the support, everyone. Update 1. A day after my post, I was able to meet up with my friend, and after telling her about my diagnosis, which is something I haven't shared with anyone at work, I asked her if she was willing to adopt my little girl. She was shocked and tried to comfort me about my diagnosis, but she told me she couldn't give me her answer right then and there. Turns out, she does want a daughter, but something happened in her second pregnancy that caused her issues, and I don't feel right sharing the details. So, she does want to consider adopting, but she first needs to talk to her husband and discuss the planning if he agrees. I understood since it was a significant change in their family. I said okay, and after we ate, she gave me a hug and told me she will miss me. This is embarrassing, but I actually started crying. I also began making the emails. A user gave me this idea, and I thought it was amazing. So, I created an email for my daughter and started pre-recording videos for various things. It's nowhere near ready, but I already have some ideas and recorded some videos for her birthdays and significant life events, like first crushes, prom, and her first job. Sadly, I realized while planning it that most of the videos will be don't do what I did kind of videos. My friend reached out to me a few days ago and said that after having a long talk with her husband, they are both considering it. Apparently, they do this thing where, after discussing a significant change in their lives, they'll come to an agreement and then wait for a while. If they're still on the same page, it sounds like a good idea. She did tell me that it wasn't a yes, though, there are some issues they want to fix first. She said that while they both really like the idea, they barely know anything about my little girl. Her husband and 6-year-old son haven't even seen her, and while she has seen and heard about her, it's from me, so she told me about a plan they came up with. For the rest of this month, I'm going to have to get up 2 hours earlier than normal to drop off my daughter at their house, so her husband can watch over her as he works at home, then I'll go to work with my coworker. This way, her husband and son can get to know her. She also said she wants us to celebrate Christmas with them, so that's something to look forward to in the future. I already did it yesterday, and when I went to pick up my little girl, she was the happiest I've ever seen her in a long time. My friend's husband said that they got off on the wrong foot initially. She was really scared sometimes and didn't want to play with their son yet. However, since it was their first day, he thinks she'll get better. We did it again today, and he said she mostly watched their son play, but it was already better than yesterday. So that's what's happening right now. I'm scared this will be for nothing, but at the very least, now my daughter is getting better at their house for now. So even if they say no in the end, she already has some better memories than when she was with me. Thank you, everyone. Update 2. I'm back again. I'm sorry for being gone so long, a lot has happened, and this will be my last post. First, I started feeling really sick days after Christmas. My entire chest was hurting, like someone was hitting it with a hammer over and over, and I was coughing up a lot of liquids. My best friend was terrified that I had caught something, because the doctors had said that getting sick right now could be fatal, so we had to go to the doctor. Thankfully, I didn't catch anything, it was just the symptoms getting worse. Also, thankfully, at the time, I was still at work, so I didn't have to pay much for the bills. Yeah, that was another terrible thing that happened to me recently. After that trip to the hospital, my work called me in privately. Remember how I said that if something were to happen, I would be the first to go? Well, the bosses were telling me how they couldn't keep me there as I'm slowly passing because it wouldn't feel right, and it's apparent to them that my illness was slowing me down. They mentioned that forcing my co-workers to work harder to make up for me wouldn't be fair and all that. I know I was just causing more problems for my co-workers since I got diagnosed, but I didn't think they would complain about me to my bosses. I'm so stupid for that, of course, I was being a pain. I was hoping to still be with them until the end of the month so I could make rent, as I had barely enough money for bills, rent, groceries, public transportation, and the hospital bills. On my best friend's side of things, after testing out caring for my little girl for a few weeks and spending a big holiday with them, she and her husband agreed to adopt her. She was telling me about some of her plans, and I told her it would probably be for the best that my daughter moves in with them. She asked me why, and I told her our work fired me, and I wouldn't be able to care for both of us with so little money. She told me we both could move in with them, they have plenty of guest rooms I could occupy. I swear I tried to say no, her family was already doing so much for us, and I felt like this was too much. She told me I could be a huge help for them living there during my last months. Her husband could use the help looking after her as he works, I can help them decorate and fix up her new room, and show them the foods my daughter likes to eat. So, I promise I'm not going to be a bother to them, and we are hard at work getting the needed papers together for the adoption after I'm gone. Besides, me living there could help my little girl become more comfortable in her new home, and her family is so well off that they even have a personal family lawyer. When I haven't been feeling sick, we've been working with him to make sure the adoption goes through. Okay, after all of that, I do want to share some other fun news. Christmas with them was probably the best Christmas my daughter and even I have ever had in our entire lives. Thanks to them, I was able to make a really special Christmas gift for my daughter, a Build-A-Bear. Well, it was really a bunny, but still. I made a voice recording telling her how much I love her and will always try to keep her safe. And my friend knows about the emails. I'm almost done with them, actually, just a few more left. I gave her the password to both the email and this Reddit account, so once I pass, she could delete this one. Sorry, but I've been getting so many messages, and I don't want people to message me when I'm gone. About the messages, I've received a lot since I updated. Apparently, my story was shared on TikTok, and that's cool. It's weird, I've gotten so many people reaching out to me and messaging me, wanting to talk. I've never had that happen in my life, it's funny how it happens once time is limited. Many are saying that if my friend said no, they would love to adopt my little girl. Thank you, but thankfully, my friend did say yes. However, if you still want to adopt, please reach out to a foster care system in your state, there are still children struggling in the system going through what I did. Give those kids the life I could never have. I've also had some saying they would love to pay me money to help. Please don't bother, sorry, but it feels weird accepting money. My entire life, I've worked for everything I've had, so it feels wrong accepting money and help from strangers just because I'm passing. I do want to address a few messages I've gotten about race. Most were about why I cared about my friend's family and me and my daughter's race being different. It wasn't a lot, but if you called me a racist for caring about that, I want to say that my nerves about that aren't because I think my daughter and I being white make us better than my friend, far from it. I've seen a lot of stuff in the system and talked with other kids of different races, and those kids of different races were put into care with people who were also a different race from them. They would tell me the problems they faced from the parents, not that I'm scared my friend will do that, but also from the outside world. Being called names and insulted, one kid told me how she got screamed at by some older lady at a restaurant, and the parents did try to get involved, and it got into a nasty fight. So yeah, I was scared her family and my daughter would face the same bigotry the foster kids I knew from before faced, but I can't let my fears about some bigots ruin my daughter's chances. Anyways, this will probably be the last time I'm going to post on here. I don't want to waste my last days. I've thought about taking up painting again, actually. I used to paint when I was in high school before I dropped out, and once in the same school, we read a classic book about a world where books are banned. I don't remember a lot from the story, but I do remember at the ending when a character said you didn't waste life when you make something to leave behind. That always stuck with me. I want to paint something, maybe my friend could hang it up or keep it in their attic, but as long as I've left something behind, my life wasn't for nothing, right? I also need to help my friend's family and my daughter settle into their new lives. Thank you to everyone for your kindness, and goodbye.